You did most of them.
Now then, everyone, welcome to a sort of impromptu B&C on a phone outside a pub with really crap sound quality, no doubt. But we're here for you people because you need us.
Hi, this is
So,
Don
without
Matteo,
further
and
ado,
you are listening to the Ought to Know Better podcast. Let's do this.
now then, when you can see us,
Yeah. Eventually,
it were all fine, and now it's been interfered with.
there you go.
There we go. Like Leeds United's team and tactics.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, I don't even know what to say about that. We've come all this way,
Yeah.
to watch that, and we've basically just watched a side with no philosophy, no identity, no direction, just 11 individuals going out and trying to kick a ball as soon as it comes to them without really any sort of plan, what they're doing, where it's going, anything beyond that. I mean, do you disagree with any of that?
No, I can't disagree with any of that at the moment. Like, I think myself and Smarty said towards the end of last season that we think Marsh should be gone by Christmas, and I think if the results and the performances still keep going the way they're going, he'll, it's not looking good. I don't think, I think there's a game there to be won today. There was there's no cohesion between the front and the back, and it was hard to watch. And I just feel that there was a game there in the first 20, 25 minutes that could have been won. And I just think we let it get away from us.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. Brendan's Ghost evening, mate. How you doing? Did you go and watch that crap, or did you do the sensible thing and stay at home?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
I'm
I
not
can't disagree with the other comment. It should have been 3 up by half time as well.
Yeah,
It was the same old Leeds. Didn't take chances. We had that thing where we sort of dominate for 20, 25 minutes, don't do anything with it.
Yeah.
I thought when we scored that goal, I thought, oh, here we go for a change, but how many times did we take the lead and then we don't win the game with Jesse Marsh? And I thought people were unfair when they wrote him off when he came in, but I think today's the day I lost faith in Jesse Marsh.
Did you lose faith in the sense that that could be it for him now if we don't get a result against Leicester, or do you think is he going to get up until Christmas and see how it goes from there?
I don't know if he'll get till Christmas, but I think Leicester's too soon. I think he's probably got 3 games to show something. I think. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, I said to you after the game, 49ers might have something to say about that. If, like, Rads and Co want to let him go, they might disagree and say, no, that's not happening. I don't know. It just feels so raw, but I'm sick of watching shit football now. When we were playing to survive, I could accept certain compromises, but we shouldn't be playing that now against teams like we have done, like Villa, Palace, teams for me we should be beating, or at least like mega competitive against. And there's just nothing, man. It's just hopeless. It's like you can't even rely on Bamford anymore. Do you know what I mean? And we're probably relying on him too much before he's really ready anyway. But we just don't. There's no philosophy. Like you look at Arsenal, we talked about that earlier, and like they wanted Arteta out after the season, but he was working towards something, and that's now they're getting the fruits of that now.
Yeah.
But what is Jesse Marsh working towards?
I'd like to try and be positive as much as I can, but I just don't think that. How are you, Alison? You all right? I just don't think that there's a lot of improvement from the back end of last season where he was like, this isn't my style of football, this isn't what I want to play, to what we saw today. And I think over the last couple of games, like we seem to be a very 20-minute team. So when we get the first 20, 25 minutes, we're very much on top. We just don't capitalize on that and score our goals. And I think that's going to cost us a lot in the upcoming games. Like we've got Arsenal now again on Sunday.
Already has arguably.
Yeah, and we also have Arsenal now on Sunday, next Sunday, and we also have Leicester away the following Thursday. And I'm not sure if I can see us getting anything from Arsenal at the moment. And I think
I don't think so.
I think we may struggle against Leicester, granted where they are at the moment. But when you look at the table, they're still only 5 points behind us, which isn't a massive amount, like, you know. So
everybody who's in trouble loves to play Leeds, don't they? So
yeah,
we know how that goes.
yeah.
I mean, Alisson just saying there that miss by Paddy. I mean, didn't you say it were on his right foot?
Yeah, it was on his right foot, but
there was a guy behind us, Alisson. I swear to God, he spent the entire second half going on about that. He absolutely hammered Bamford.
Yeah.
He just wouldn't shut up about it. He kept effing and blinding. If he'd done this, he useless past it. You know, he just would not let it go. Would he?
Yeah,
that were it for him. He were done after that. That blow.
Yeah, there was a lot of bad feeling towards a few of the players today from behind us anyway. But I just think with the way that we set up today, it was set up in a very competent, we can get a result here thing. There was no negativity in the way we set up. I just don't feel that sometimes the tactics that Marsh wants to imply on the team are working. I genuinely do not think that the way we're playing is going to work. I think that game that I've said it a few times. I'd say it again. Like I think that game was screaming out for Click today, far earlier than when he came on. I know people kind of go, "What do you mean?" or whatever, but I think we played Rodrigo today out of more, I don't know, favoritism over anything. Like we put a serious attacking number 10 kind of midfielder and Aronson out wide, right? And it hasn't fared anything. Like I'd rather put Aronson in there and give Somerville, 60, 70 minutes and then bring someone else on. Maybe bring on.
You mean play Aronson in position he's known for?
Well, yeah.
What a crazy idea!
I know it's mad. Like I know we've had Bielsa on for God knows how long now at this stage. Like, it's it's a mad concept to actually play players and their
it's hard going. Yeah. I mean, the other thing you've got to ask is like when you're struggling like we are struggling.
Yeah.
And what is it? 2 points from 5 games or something. But like Marsh is like, oh, we were better than those 2 points suggest. Well, sorry, but we won't, will we? Because we'd have more than 2 points if we were.
Yeah.
I mean, the ref today was another shocker, but you can't keep blaming the refs. And if we'd been good enough, we'd have got ahead of that.
Well, you're right. We can't keep blaming the refs, but when the refs keep making incompetent decisions, it's hard to not blame them. But at the same time, you have to look at how we're playing and how our capabilities are in front of goal. And at the moment, they're very, very lacking.
That's it.
And it's costing us points now today. Now, I'll give Bamford the benefit of the doubt because, quite frankly, he's been out for how long and he started today. And, there was times where he held the ball up quite well and he didn't look out of place, but then his final touch in areas, especially for that gilt-edged opportunity that he should have put away. Like, I think we need to give him time to get back into the swing of things. He said himself, even just in the Australia tour, that he wasn't up to scratch and he was only, 70% fit or whatever he felt he was. We need to give him time. I know we're very impatient as Leeds fans, and time isn't something that we allow a lot of people.
Points while we're giving him this time, it's hard to sort of not be frustrated, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is, and look, I think if you know what, I think it's hard to look beyond today and feel positive about a lot of things, but I'm sure I'm not the only one that kind of feels like that at the moment.
Absolutely. Who was it that got into the box and had that chance for Rodrigo? Took the extra touch and then never got to get the shot away properly.
No, I think it was Adams. He got the ball in the box and he should have shot.
Right side of the box.
Yeah, he should have shot, and then he tried to beat the man down the line, and it shouldn't have happened at all. Like, really, let's be honest. Like, he should have just shot, and I think sometimes that can be our biggest downfall is that we're not actually shooting. Like,
the other question though that I'd like to ask is like, when you're struggling like we are, and you've got an Italian international sat on the bench, why is he not getting on the field? And I know that it wasn't part of the plan originally to bring him in, but he's here now, and we're in a shit situation, so why not use him?
The only thing I can think of is that they're looking at him as a prospect, but he's an Italian international. There's, you either buy him to do what he's doing to get in the Italy squad, or you don't buy him at all, in my opinion. And I think I don't think he's far off now at this stage. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I think he's not far off starting ahead of Rodrigo based on the last couple of games that Rodrigo's played, whether he's been out for one or two or whatever. But you can't have, regardless of whether he's 18 or not, Mancini, who won the Premier League with Man City, has him in his squad, starts him. He's the youngest Italian since World War II to start that many consecutive games for the Italian side. You don't buy a player like that just to put him on the bench. And I think now is the time to potentially look at maybe putting him in just behind Bamford, perhaps, or even, put him in ahead of Bamford until he gets back into the swing of things. Nanto looks fresh. He looks ready.
Start and build up bit by bit. Don't put all the responsibility on his shoulders when he's not ready to carry it.
Oh, of course, yeah. I agree with that. And I just think that if you buy him for the price we bought him, then you're looking at going, right, okay, he's an investment, but you can't look at him as an investment if he's already an Italian international on a regular basis. I don't know. I think that there's opportunities for other players in the team here now. I think in the squad that maybe he's one of them that should probably get it. I think Arsenal are a quick team at the back, and his pace and his trickery might do the world of good.
If he's physical and he's quick, you know what I mean? It could be a godsend for us.
Yeah.
But it's going to come a point where keeping him sat on bench is going to start to affect his international career. And that's then going to become a problem.
Well, you see, the only upside for him there is he's not going to really suffer in the international stakes because he doesn't have the World Cup to have to play towards now at the moment, with Italy being with Italy not qualifying as much as that case.
It's going to be a factor in it long term if he's not playing.
Of course it is, yeah. I think we don't have that many players in our squad that are first teamers for their international squad. Maybe Llorente when he plays, but he's not been playing for us the last two games or whatever the case may be. But it's it's hard to look at him and not think maybe he could do something if he's doing it on the stage that's considered the highest stage in football, the international stage. Then there's no reason as to say why he shouldn't be able to do it in the Premier League. And I think his international experience now that he has, albeit maybe it's only 5, 6, 7 games or whatever the case may be, but it's more international experience at a higher level than Gelhardt's got. And that's not me dissing Gelhardt now by any means at all. I just think if you've got someone in the squad who's been around the top quality players of that national side, I think that benefits a young player more than 100%. Gelhardt getting 100%. A few minutes here and there. You know what I mean?
You get better when you play with better players.
Absolutely,
that's the fact.
Yeah.
And we talked about it some way down. We've done it to death on this podcast, but kids playing men's football, it's not playing reserve football.
Yeah,
it's been playing first team top level. It might be in what we consider a shit league.
Yeah,
but it's still getting the physicality of an adult game. He's still getting knocked and pushed around by defenders, and he's learning how to sort of cope with that and the tricks that experienced players will play, which you don't get in the reserves. Yeah. So for me, I'd not have any hesitation putting him in and giving him a chance.
Yeah, I think it's something that he needs to look at now, because the way it's working at the moment, it's not working when Paddy's on in the position we want him to play, and it's not working when well, it was at the beginning, but it seems to have dried up a bit for Rodrigo. But I don't think we're in a position where we can discredit someone based on the fact that they're only 18, and I think the fact that they're an Italy international says a lot about them as a player.
They must have something about him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. There's other kids, there's other talented young players, but he's the man that they're picking. So
yeah, I don't want to try and be negative the whole time. I think we have to look at stuff that's kind of positive as well. Difficult to find some positives in all that, but yeah, it's difficult. You might help me out here, Jay. I'm just,
I was just letting you go. I was just listening to you.
I'm
My
not
brain's
sure.
going
Like,
because I'm thinking, do I say it about Cooper or not? Because I'll get hammered for it on here. But
I was kind of thinking about that myself as well. Like, I didn't know. I thought Cock played well.
I think we just go in, Karl.
Are you going too further at it now?
Yeah.
I
mean, he was shit today, Cooper. I'm just going to say it. Gilly will hate me for it. Smarty, who's now a Cooper fan, because he's been known to turn. But he fucked up again today. He wasn't great. I mean, I'm not going to single him out and say he's the only person who wasn't great because I'm not going to be unfair.
Yeah.
But he did fuck up again today. And the problem I've got is his leadership is something that we need and we lack when he's not there. But his ability is not good enough to me. So, there's a trade-off. Like, you either want somebody with more ability and less leadership, or you put a guy in for leadership, but you're not putting him in for his defensive ability. And that is a problem for me.
Like
we need somebody that can do both. No, Llorente is the one. Well, I'm going to say Llorente is the one with ability, but that's open to fucking debate now, isn't it?
Jeez, I don't know. Like, I'm not going to lie. I think we have looked more solid with Cooper back. But it's also harder to forgive anything where you're giving up a free kick when it should have been cleared, gone to safety. You had the ball at your feet. There was a player on the wing. It should have just gone. Don't turn back inside. Give away that free kick that leads to their first goal. I understand all that, but at the same time, like you said, he is that leader. Like, even when Llorente and Cock were playing centre back, it just didn't work.
No.
I'm sorry, like, you know what I mean.
No.
That's
where we're stuck.
Yeah, but I think, as Gilly has said previously on previous pods, Struick and Cresswell will be our centre back pairing moving forward. 100%, without a doubt. But at the moment, we need to figure out what our best pairing is. If we can have Cooper in the match day squad and motivating as well as he does from the bench, and then have our best pairing as centre back, which ultimately at the moment I would put Cock and Struick. Can he still motivate a team from the sideline if Jesse gives them a bit more kind of leeway to be out on the edge of the box as a kind of sort of shit out lads?
Like him play a coach, man.
Something. I don't know, something. Just have him around there, but we need to play Struick and we need to play Cock as our two centre backs at the moment.
But that depends on Firpo being fit, and he's made out of cheese at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah. I'd nearly just sacrifice it the way we're playing at the moment and put Drama, who's a fullback, albeit a right fullback. I'd put him at left back at the moment just because he's trained in that particular area. Granted, he's not naturally left-footed, but if you're getting that much money and you're playing the Premier League, you need to be able to use both feet, in my opinion.
It doesn't always work that way, but I know what you mean. But he knows how to play up and down the line.
Yeah.
He knows how to look for runners and stuff like that.
And any time he's been on there, he seems confident with the left foot as well. It's not a case that he has to turn back inside every time. So, maybe these things can go in our favour. Like,
Brendan's ghost knows.
Player coach for Cooper is a great shout, Jay. Yeah, not a bad shout.
I think so.
Honest to God, it's the same scenario as I was saying. Is just have him in the match day squad and have him motivating the players from the inside. And if it comes to a fucking point where we're short of a centre back, stick him in. But we do need to play with our two best centre backs, and at the moment, I think they're Cock.
It is a problem because we do miss his leadership and organisation.
Oh, we do.
We really do.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. I'm gonna say I'm not sure it outweighs his lack of ability, but we did get more clean sheets with him, so it's.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why Jesse Marsh gets paid loads of money for them decisions. Yeah. Whether he's making right ones right now, I'm not sure, but it is a tough decision.
Yeah.
But it is a trade-off. You don't get both. Yeah. You're taking one or the other. With any of our defenders, you don't get both out of any of them.
No, I guess
that's the problem. We need somebody that's got both.
Yeah.
We need
cost a couple of million, though. That's the problem.
Well, that's it. We all know how our esteemed chairman feels about spending money. So, well, that's just my opinion.
But that's not the opinion of everyone on the pod. Maybe a few, but anyway. So look, we've talked to death about what we feel our problems are. What do you think? What do you think of Palace today? How do you think they looked? Like, let's take away from the fact that Zaha spends more time on the floor, and that's why he didn't get picked for England in the first place, and had to, pledge his allegiance to somewhere else. That's neither here nor there. But as a squad and as a team, how do you think they played today?
Well, before I get to that, you reminded me. I said to Karl during the game, Zaha is going to become the first player in Premier League history to get a testimonial from a club he never ever wanted to be at. So, that says it all for him.
Yeah.
I think Palace did what they were told to do.
Yeah.
They looked more coherent than us. They looked like they had a plan, even though that was mostly to stifle and frustrate.
Yeah.
But they knew what they were supposed to do. People knew where to look for people for passes. You didn't see Palace just like the ball coming to them and panicking and booting it and just hoping it went to a player on their team, whereas that's what you saw from us. There was no composure in our team, but they did have a plan. They did look for each other. They did play passes. You didn't see as many stray balls from them, for me, whereas we were booting it just randomly a lot of the time. And I think they look solid. I'm not entirely convinced they were set out to win, but they were set out to do those set pieces. I think try and frustrate us, stifle us, get set pieces, and try and get something from that. And it worked for them. I mean, they're the 12th man, but
we got on to that for a few minutes anyway. It's just going back to what you were saying there about. It seemed like they were very coherent in where they were passing the ball. It was almost like they knew where players were going to be,
like they've been coached and told.
It's the one thing that I've noticed about us from when I won't mention his name because it's too painful. But we seem to be doing a lot of these blind passes to space where there's no players.
Blind passes to nobody.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that I noticed today was that Palace looked like they were going to do that, and then they'd take that extra touch, and if they seemed like they weren't going to get rid of the ball, they looked like they got fouled.
Yeah.
So there was it's to be fair, it's intelligent play as a footballer. If you hold the ball and the pass isn't on, you hold the ball and then you feel that in the back, you're going to go down. They seem to be more intelligent in retention of the ball than we were. Whereas we seem like, I said it to you today as well, it's like when we play forward with Bamford up front, we don't play as quickly. What we do is we get the ball into Bamford, he tries to hold it up, he tries to bring players into the game. Rodrigo up front, we seem to be more chaotic and try and get that ball, just keep that ball moving forward all the time. They seem to, whenever they got into a position where they didn't see a forward pass at times, they just thought, right, I'll just turn around and I'll draw the foul. It's a clever kind of way to play. Not, I'm not saying anything like, negative about it. I'd rather we did that than try and play a pass that's not even on, you know what I mean? But I think a lot of what Vieira did as a player, you can see coming out slowly with each game, right?
Yeah,
with
Palace. They are tough to break down.
Yeah, they're very, very tough, and they have them players who, look, they're not in the same kind of toughness or strength as Vieira would have been in his heyday. No, exactly, yeah, but they still have that nuance where they know if they do, if they hold on to the ball for that little second long when that pass isn't on, they'll have that free kick. It might be a quick.
That him as a coach, if you pull out 50-50, he's going to go fucking mental.
Oh yeah.
He's going to bollock the fuck out of you.
But I can't slate us for any of that. We don't pull out of tackles at the moment. To be fair to Tyler Adams today, he was flying into tackles and he was winning them. Yeah. He was winning them. And I would never say that we don't do that. But Palace, they just have that kind of niggly edge over teams when they go to Selhurst Park.
Yeah, that's right.
Again, I don't know. Have we got it on there? Have we got the one?
We probably have if you give me a moment to find it.
Yeah. So I just think if we can get our go on.
Here we go.
We're in London. Because that's the fucking difference.
But today it wasn't a difference. It was just that we just didn't know how to finish our dinner.
Because
we just didn't know how to finish our dinner today.
I have to say, I'm quite impressed that some of the Palace players have clearly got the City and Guilds in level 3 drama, because when that fucking guy got touched, I don't know who it was, but when he got touched on his shoulder, he leapt like a salmon.
Yeah,
I've never seen that like it. And the referee,
here now we've seen something like that now. To be fair, Adriano, fucking
yeah,
the
fish out of water.
the salmon of knowledge flapping around there on the side of the fucking shore. You know,
Absolutely.
But,
I'm just going to grab a couple of these comments here.
all right.
Bandy's saying we should have won that in the first half hour.
Yeah.
Tactics. Board directors should get Diego Simeone. Again, Bandy saying Cooper has a heart, but not the rest of the stuff that counts, which is what I think we were saying, to be honest.
Yeah.
Brenner's Ghost was something we can all get behind.
Fuck off London.
Absolutely.
Fuck London. So look, I think maybe we should probably call it a day there now. The only reason I'm doing that is because my phone has about 5% battery left on it. So look, we'll pick this up again on Tuesday on the main pod. If anyone has any comments that they'd maybe like to get in and just say what you feel about today, feel free. Anyone watching back or on Tuesday, go for it.
Before we kill this off, Karl, I just want to know, what do you think going forward? Are we in trouble, or do you think it's going to come good?
I think we need to get our shit together and start scoring goals, because that seems to be our biggest downfall at the moment. We need to work on our passing. Do I feel Jesse will be here in January? It's a tough one.
It's hard to say.
I've
supported him up to now, but I really do. I do doubt him now. I just don't see a direction. I don't.
Yeah.
When we first started the season, I felt like we'd moved away from the football we played last year. He'd got his own team, and it looked promising. We got that win against Chelsea.
Yeah.
But it's all been downhill since, and we just don't look like we're going to do anything. And I guess we'll see.
We definitely will. Yeah.
We definitely will.
Yeah.
But it's been a short one. We didn't want to leave you guys without, and leave you twiddling your thumbs wanting to see us. So we thought we'd pop on and just let a few of you say and that, and just get a bit off our chests. But cheers for joining us, everyone. It's been a good one, and we're back for a proper pod during the week on Tuesday.
Don't forget just to check out the pod that Luke, Matt, and Smarty James did with Brian McDermott. It's a great pod. It's
Smarty James.
Smarty James.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So maybe just check that out if no one's seen it. It's definitely worth a watch. And Brian McDermott seems like a really nice chap and a very honest and open person as well. So it's good to hear that as well. So maybe check that out, and we'll catch you again on Tuesday night.
Absolutely. Cheers for joining us, everyone.
Take care.
See you later.
Shit. Anyway.
You said that.